Hello all, welcome to Lucid Main's Current Affairs program brought to you by Neo IAS, and today we will be discussing about the INS Arihant. The successful completion of INS Arihant's first deterrence patrol with live nuclear tipped missiles signals the operationalization of India's long awaited nuclear triad. With INS Arihant, the country's first indigenous nuclear submarine, India now has the capability to launch nuclear weapons from land, air and sea. This significantly strengthens India's second strike capabilities, enhancing the deterrence value of its nuclear arsenal. Now, the submarine was sanctioned using secret funds in the late 1970s by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi after India conducted its first nuclear test. The nuclear test was codenamed Smiling Buddha back in 1974. The design and technology of INS Arihant was locked in 1984 when the formal go-ahead was given. Work on the submarine started in 1998. It took the shipbuilding center almost 11 years to construct the country's first indigenous nuclear powered submarine. INS Arihant was launched on July 26, 2009 by the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to mark 10 years since the end of Kargil War. In August 2013, the submarine's atomic reactor was activated, and in August 2016, Prime Minister Modi inducted the submarine into the Navy. November 2018, the submarine returned to the Indian shores after successfully completing its first deterrence patrol. Now, the INS Arihant name means annihilator of enemies. Arihant is capable of carrying nuclear tipped ballistic missiles, the class referred to as Ship Submersible Ballistic Nuclear or SSBN. The vessel weighing 6,000 tons is powered by 83 megawatt pressurized light water nuclear reactor. The project to build a strategic vessel began as the Advanced Technology Vessel project in the 1980s, and the vessel was launched in 2009 by PM Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. It will be armed with the K-15 Sagarika missiles with a range of 750 kilometers, and the DRDO is working on two longer range submarine launched ballistic missiles or SLBMs with a range of 3500 kilometers named as K4 and the 500 kilometer range named as K5. India said it is committed to not using nuclear weapons first, and meaning it won't be launching nuclear strikes against any enemy nation unless someone launches it on India first. And INS Arihant would be the best guarantor of a second strike capability in a nuclear exchange. India has completed its nuclear triad by inducting the first indigenously built strategic nuclear submarine INS Arihant into service. Now, nuclear triad, it simply means that the country has the capability to launch nuclear strikes on the enemy from air, land and sea if the need arises. So, how INS Arihant completes India's long awaited nuclear triad? India's Agni ballistic missiles and the fighters Mirage 2000 can deliver nuclear weapons, but the underwater leg or the ship submersible nuclear ballistic nuclear or a nuclear powered submarine with nuclear missile was missing, and the INS Arihant completes this triad. Now, India has nuclear launch capability in the form of Agni ballistic missiles from land and fighter Mirage 2000 from air and the INS Arihant from sea. SSBNs operate underwater over long distance for months, and they are considered to be the most potent and difficult to detect leg of the nuclear triad. The specifications of INS Arihant: it has a crew of 95 members, a displacement of 6,000 tons, a surface speed of 12 to 15 knots and a submerged speed of 24 knots with a nuclear reactor of 85 megawatts. The significance of INS Arihant: the SSBN capability represents a quantum leap in India's quest to realize its potential as an emerging global power. This places India in the league of few countries that can design, construct and operate ship submersible ballistic nuclear. Unlike land-based or airborne platform for launching nuclear weapons that can be tracked by adversaries, it is virtually impossible to detect nuclear submarines. Given India's stated position of no first use in launching nuclear weapons, the ship submersible ballistic nuclear is the most dependable platform for second strike. As they are powered by nuclear reactors, these submarines can stay underwater indefinitely without any adversary detecting it, and the other two platforms, land-based and air-launched, are far easier to detect. In an era such as this, a credible nuclear deterrence is the need of the hour. The success of INS Arihant gives a fitting response to those who indulge in nuclear blackmail. Apart from its strategic significance, the Arihant is a live manifestation of Make in India vision. The completion of the maiden deterrence patrol by India's first indigenous nuclear powered ballistic missile submarine is a momentous development in terms of the country's ability to defend itself in a rough neighborhood where it faces challenges from certain inimical powers, referring to China and Pakistan. Now, the areas that need attention are: the command and control structures for an SSBN on a fully loaded deterrence patrol have to be robust and foolproof, for any inadvertent error can lead to mass destruction. This is the biggest challenge ahead. India needs a submarine launched ballistic missiles of 6,000 to 8,000 kilometer range. The missile carried by Arihant is the K-15, which has a range below 1,000 kilometers. The chairman, chiefs of staff committee is a key functionary in the nuclear command chain responsible to the PM, and under the existing rules, the appointment of chairman is tenable by the senior most service chief. He discharges this duty on a part-time basis in addition to running his own service. Usually, the chairman of the chief of staff committee is the senior most member from among the armed forces, that is the senior most chief among the army, navy or the air force. He discharges this duty on a part-time basis in addition to running his own service. No other nuclear weapon state has such a partial arrangement, and this impinges on the credibility of our deterrence. The nuclear reactors of our SSBNs will need refueling with fresh uranium rods every few years. The process being a lengthy one, India would require an inventory of at least 3 to 4 SSBNs to maintain one-on-one deterrent patrol of each seaboard. This needs a secure site and ample protection. While Indian scientists, engineers and designers have learned a lot about the complex technologies involved in nuclear submarine construction, to ensure that the Arihant's successors are substantially made in India, there are key areas of research and development which call for urgent focus and where we may need assistance. Lastly, the way forward. India cannot afford to rest on its laurels. Much more needs to be done. Experts believe a real sea-based deterrence requires at least 3 atomic powered submarines, 2 of which would be on patrol along the east and western seaboard, while one undergoes a refit at any given time. The submarines will also need to be armed with missiles with a range of up to 5,000 kilometers to give India the wherewithal to counter regional powers. China has a force of more than 60 undersea vessels, including SSBNs. The distance between India officially unveiling its plan for a nuclear triad and the first deterrence patrol took 15 years. Other milestone in this important program shouldn't take as long. India being a country surrounded by 2 nuclear powers, that is China and Pakistan, it is highly commendable that we could reach this milestone, but there are much more to be done to achieve our goal of safe and secure borders. Thank you.